I didn't tell you about my dream last night. I woke up.
Good to have you back here.
You too, baby.
Tell us about
I
your
love
dream.
you. I woke up. Well, we were in a tree. It was me and you,
both of us.
Shannon, and Chevelle was there, and it was. Can probably start this off by telling you we were playing a lot of Valheim last night, and I guess it was the World Tree. But we were like crafting, building. I had to build like a place to sleep, and so I was trying to build the wooden floors. I think it might have been your idea, like, oh, we can put these floors here. And then I drank some psychedelic tea or something, and then I fell asleep and went into another dream.
You drank some psychedelic tea?
I know you wouldn't believe it.
Please, go on.
Okay, and then so I woke up in the new dream state where I couldn't interact with people, but I could interact with plants, and I was picking all these herbs. And then in that dream, I would find a creature that it would have a button on it, and I'd push the button and go into another dream within that dream.
A dream within a dream
in black and white.
And dreamception.
In that dream, I had to fight these creatures, and I only had 5 minutes. So I'd go into these dreams for like 5 minutes,
Okay.
and then I'd be pulled back out of the dream.
All right.
And when I would be pulled back out of the dream, whether I killed the creature or not, and then it would pull me back to the world tree.
Yeah.
Then eventually I fell through the floor and fell off the tree and fell down, and that was the end of it. I hit the ground.
So what do you think that dream means?
Well, it's like a DMT rush. Like the 5-minute dream thing, I'm thinking is like I was taking a DMT.
You know what? Let's just start out. I actually have a question from my locals channel. Someone asked, can Ian please explain his DMT adventure? So now I know you've talked about DMT multiple times. I mean, you've done it.
I like it.
Okay, so I've never done DMT. So I have no idea what it is. Or I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know what the experience is like. And clearly people want to know. Tell us.
Okay,
Ian,
I should say I've only done I have never done a hard dose, a heroic dose of it.
Is that what it's called? A heroic dose?
Heroic dose
Or is that what
when
you're
you go all the
calling
way.
it?
No, I think that's the term.
Oh, okay.
Someone just told me they're doing a heroic dose of mushrooms today, so that's
Okay.
it's kind of oscillating in my brain.
So when you it's not just like microdosing, you're taking it
the
to
heroic dose is like
you're
an
going
eighth
on
of
an
mushrooms.
adventure.
Yeah. And so to take the heroic dose of DMT, you want to take a big hit as hard as you can. You hold it in as long as you can until you start coughing it out, and then you fall back.
Yeah.
And you fall into the zone according to the heroes. I puffed on it because I was just, when I take a drug for the first time, I want to go slow just to kind of taste it.
So it's
feel what it
smoked?
does.
You smoke it?
Yeah, you can smoke it. I mean, that's a safe way to do it. They powder or crystallize it, and then you can smoke that.
But that's how you did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was at my friend's house. My friend, actually, we went with my friend to his friend's house, and he was brewing algae in these tanks behind him.
Oh.
Epic. So already we were sitting in his room, his dark room, and these bubbling tanks of algae, like green bubbling water. Is crazy.
And hydroponic
Yeah,
setup.
dude.
We should do that here.
Yeah, we should do that. We
great.
get all the
Let's put a
materials
pin
pretty
on
easy.
that. Let's put a
Okay,
pin
I like
on
it.
that.
I like where you're headed. I'm glad
Yeah.
I'm going there with you.
Yeah, definitely.
And so then we all smoked the DMT, and I like fell back, and I saw the guy who owned the algae tanks, and I saw him getting sucked down to the ground, and I could see the gravity pulling his skin. Like right now we're being sucked down, but we just think it's normal. We've come desensitized to it, and we don't see it when we look at other humans. We just look like people, but this whole like sucking, and I realized it was like DMT got me out of gravity and let me see what life on Earth was like.
Interesting. I've been talking about that a lot lately, about what gravity is, because I actually tagged you in this the video that I posted. I was like, man, I wish Ian should have joined me on the show. It was about new propulsion, about using magnetic connection and reconnection to basically make it a propulsion. It's that magnetic energy and connecting and reconnecting, and that kinetic force there. And they're trying to figure out how to make an engine out of it, and they're actually becoming successful. And I was talking about what energy is, or what magnetic energy is, and what gravity is. And really, because it just made me think of it when you were saying like gravity was pulling you down, and it sucks you down, but it's not really like a sucking you down. It's more of like we're attached to the globe in a sense. Like we are batteries connected through our energy, right? I don't know. I love that thought. I love that thought of the Earth is such a strong battery. I mean, you look at it, there's a positive and a negative, North Pole, South Pole. Like it is one big, molten iron. Yeah, it's got a magnetosphere. It's a huge battery. So why wouldn't it make sense that gravity is magnetic energy?
Yeah, it seems like it. It doesn't work exactly like magnetism, but magnetism has resonating frequencies to it. So like just I'm fascinated with the Casimir effect. Have you ever studied?
No, what's that?
It's when two bodies come close enough together, they are pulled together the rest of the way.
Oh.
They'll get so close, and then there's just. I think it's because there's like no air. You push all matter between them out, and it creates a vacuum between them that sucks them together.
Ah.
And it seems like that's how magnets work, because they'll pull slow, and then they just snap too.
Yep.
And I wonder if that has something to do with. We're trying to delve Jeremy, the alien scientist.
Cool. I would love to have him on my show.
Fantastic guest.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd come on in a heartbeat. I would love to see you guys talk together too about this stuff. And we were trying to figure out exactly what the Casimir effect was, what it was doing to the quantum space, because it was like, if it's like dislodging quanta, like forcing like pockets, he'd be well more versed to explain like the subatomic behavior. But
Cool.
But it seemed like we were both kind of like comfortable suggesting that maybe gravity was the Casimir effect.
So DMT, you said that it basically let you escape gravity,
Yeah,
right?
weird.
So if you think about from what I've known about it, what Joe Rogan says, like you said, a heroic dose is really going on an adventure. It's basically escaping gravity, and really when you delve into what that means, it's like going to another plane, right? Going to the next dimension. And that is, like, think about what a fourth dimensional being is, something that time doesn't affect it, and gravity wouldn't affect it either, wouldn't it? So you would be able to escape it. So DMT, which is interesting, by the way, if you don't know this, DMT is literally in every living being, animal, plants. There's small, minute traces of DMT in literally anything that is alive on this planet, which is an incredible thing. Like, what? Like, we are all connected through DMT, which is interesting.
We used to think it just came from our pineal glands with this third eye, and then now...
Does it not?
Well, I've heard now that your stomach creates it, your heart creates it, even your muscles create it.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
This is just something I've heard. I haven't confirmed or denied it yet, but
that's interesting.
It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, it is. It's very... That there could be... I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. We're just chemical soup, you know?
But when you die, or when your body thinks you're about to die, it releases it. So it's almost like if DMT truly is a doorway to this other dimension, and when you die, it gets released in your body, essentially opening the doorway for, like your non-physical presence to go in on a heroic journey, to use that term. It's interesting, right?
Yeah, I wonder if your consciousness is bound to your body.
Right.
And something is... Like, I think consciousness, when I think of consciousness and trying to define it, it's like electromagnetism is animating these meat corpses, basically, these sacks, and pumping blood. Like, you're getting the shock through your system every second or two that's like making your heart snap.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like creating this calculation, or whatever is happening. This we're basically calculations of matter calculators, and we call that consciousness. But that maybe there's like the accelerant is the DMT.
Yeah, maybe.
And that it could exist without the body, or that the same consciousness could inhabit other bodies. And maybe with enough of a spark, it could get there. I don't know, man. I don't know.
So what do you think reincarnation is? Because what you just said, it's like if you can inhabit another body, and DMT is in all living things, we've found it. So then it seems like it could be possible that someone could be born in a fly, and then once the fly dies, the little bit of DMT is in it and takes the fly's, we'll just say the soul, as you said, consciousness. And it's like, really, like, what is that? And I was trying to say it earlier, like your non-physical presence, like what makes you you, is it a construct of the brain that you've, from when you were born till now, or is there something that exists before you were born, that enters into the body, and, there's some semblance of past lives, reincarnation kind of vibe,
Yeah. Astrology is interesting because of the way they say what day you're born on.
And time.
Like, where the earth was, how it was rotated in relation to the sun. So you got this energy. If you look at the cosmic microwave background radiation, like radio telescope imagery of it looks like a web of energy, and it seems to be arcing through planetoids, like through stars, and then arcs into all the planets in its vicinity, which is then probably arcing through all our bodies and causing like our hearts to beat. And so the way it arcs through you, depending on where you are, would cause an imprint, I would imagine. And that has something to do with who you are. Could be that. So there could be some.
That's cool that you say that. I've actually thought of this thing, and I was trying to create a song about this, and I call it a soul sphere. All right, and essentially what it is when you're born, everyone has, think of a perfect circle, a perfect sphere. Just no Mars, no dents, no anything, no bubbles, nothing. All right, and you're born. And where all the planets are, because you said the sun, where the earth is, even where the planets are, because if we are batteries and we're affected and we're made of water, think about what the moon does to the oceans. You know, it pulls the ocean basically as it spins around the earth. It's pulling on the ocean. And if we're made of water, we're being pulled by the moon. You know, lunatics is lunatics. Like, it's lunar crazy people that go crazy when the moon's full, you know? So a soul sphere would be, when we're born, it gets printed. Like, there's a print of, you know, where all the stars are aligned. And then as you grow older, because there could be someone who was born at the same exact time as you that has the same print when you're born, but then their parents would be different. Their interactions with life will be different. And slowly over time, it might get dented. It might fracture in some spots. It might grow in some other areas. So by the time these two people who were born at the exact same time in the same place, well, no one's exact same place.
Like snowflakes.
Unless twins maybe, you know, come out at the same time. I don't know.
Interesting.
Sounds painful, but you see what I mean, though? Like a soul sphere. It's like a printing of, because everyone's a little different. And then, you know, everyone is affected by, like, even right now, you know, we are within each other's toruses, you know, which is basically the human magnetosphere. I mean, well, that's not really doing it justice.
It's a pretty accurate description. I mean, it's a
right.
torus of energy that's flowing.
But a torus, though, everything has a torus, though, which is essentially the magnetosphere of everything, right? I mean, the Earth has a torus, and it's magnetosphere. That we just call it a magnetosphere, you know?
Right.
And they don't talk about the fact that humans each have a magnetosphere. That's
incredible.
But they call it a torus. What was that video you told me about?
I think it's Thrive.
Thrive,
with,
yeah. That was
Tucker, or not Tucker, Foster Gamble.
Yeah, Foster
and Kimberly,
Gamble.
his wife. They put that together.
What a really powerful video that one was.
Yeah. That was like,
if you haven't had the chance
on Nitro.
Yes, it's like the new Zeitgeist. It's really Thrive. Check that out. Is there a second
There's a sequel?
Thrive?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Is it out yet?
Yeah, I don't know if it's out yet.
I don't know if it's out either, but we should watch that together. That'd be cool.
That'd be great.
Yeah, interesting. Wow.